Hi, I'm Joshua Hayward, Breath of Life School in Yellow Springs, Ohio. And welcome and thanks for joining me. And this is that day that we've been waiting for, and I didn't know I was going to do this, but this is a special edition video of the Path of the Sacred Warrior, and I guess we could call it the Fall of the Toxic Warrior. Because we have breaking news. Just moments ago, today on Saturday, just before noon, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have now been projected as Vice President and Vice President of the United States. This is not necessarily official yet. We're going to go through some all kinds of weird legal challenges. And I want to say this as a note of caution here. For those of us who have been leaning towards the removal of this toxic masculine male energy, I think the temptation right now is to gloat. And you know, I'm not that enlightened, not so enlightened yet that there isn't a part of me that doesn't want to go there. So maybe I'm projecting, and if I am, well, no harm done. Because you know who you are, whoever's watching this video. And I hope it's so many people. Let's not try to go out there and act condescending and arrogant after this, because that's what they would do, and worse. And we're going to see some violence. We're going to see some rioting, and what's now actually in engagement is a kind of a coup of the United States government. And they are going to try to pull this off. We could see it happening already in the news. You know what I'm talking about. Our democracy has been basically pissed on. Even though we have reasserted our democratic principles in this election. But the reason for me to do this video, well, it's a couple of things. There's a warning about violence here, and so let's not provoke, although we might want to. There's no need to keep from smiling and being happy, if that's your inclination, given the results here that are unfolding. The other thing is that we have a perfect example of the opposite of the sacred warrior. The toxic warrior has fallen now. And that spiral is going to go down. But I do want to also warn is that these true believers in the false toxic stuff, they're not going to go away. I don't think that, our job as burgeoning sacred warriors is necessarily to try to unify with them. Let's just accept. This is just my advice. Let's accept them and release them. And let's process our own feelings as best that we can. It's not going to do well to get into arguments and point fingers any longer. We don't need to do that anymore. Folks, yes, now, here's the other part that I really wanted to get across in this video, is that during this period of time in between this realization of the vote count and the actual inauguration, these are very volatile times. But that time period and then from there afterwards, and they're slightly different in the terms of their feeling, for sure. But let us develop a sense of equanimity. Let us now realize that we can explore the path of the sacred warrior without so much interruption or so much negativity coming at us to where we have to dig deeper and work harder to find our truth. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be easy, because it never is easy. Releasing the grief and the stress and the suffering of so many karmic years and so many lifetimes. Of that kind of stuff. It's not easy to release. But now, we don't have to worry about being who we are and being locked up, being vilified. We who can love now can love. We can open up our hearts to ourselves and to others. We don't necessarily have to unify. And this is my generalized kind of plan from now till inauguration and then after. We don't have to unify. But let's move more deeply into who we are and become more awake and more present so we can really make change. Now is the time, since we have the defeat of this toxic male energy, to find really healthy, the prototype of new male energy that can be rebirthed in both people of male, female, non-binary. Doesn't matter who you are. We can really rebirth some healthy male energy that's proactive from the standpoint of a dynamic mind rather than from a reactive mind. We have reactive minds, and we're being manipulated by artificial intelligence on social media and elsewhere. And we think that we're having original thoughts, so many of us. But we're not. We're not until we reach love. And then we're moving into our truth, into our true self. So, let us pursue the sacred warrior. All of us who want to. And for those who aren't going to go in that direction, let's let them go wherever they need to go. You know? Let's just bless them and send them along. I'm feeling that there will be a lot of antagonism and a lot of violence, and in fact, an attempted coup on the United States government, which in my opinion has already partially happened. But I want to leave the politics back behind. You'll notice that in my videos I have avoided that. In this moment, this could be the only one, and if you're hearing some stuff in the background, here in Yellow Springs, horns honking, people yelling and screaming with delight and joy, well then you'll know what that is. Because we are free at last. We're free now to move deeply into the truth of who we are. No, the government is not going to make this easy, or really be that cooperative, or even support us, but at least now we can kind of count on it not coming after us just for being who we are. If that sounds paranoid, well, maybe you haven't been paying attention for the last near 4 years. But I am a proponent of love. And that's what it's all about. I want to send out love to every person here on the planet. And this is a day that the reckoning begins to shift. Well over 4 million votes ahead. It says that there is some redemptive qualities that we have in this country. And maybe we're never going to return to where we were before. We still have to deal with COVID-19. We have so much to heal and to rebirth. But we can do it. I've always said that we're a plucky group of folks. And maybe now we can bring social justice. The people that are going to fight for their causes, yes, I say do that. Open up your hearts. Don't do it with resistance. Do it with acceptance for what is, and then making a really strong choice from the heart. This is what needs to be done. Anyone wants any help with this kind of thing? To be that spiritual warrior, and that's what I'm talking about now. Not holding back from the heart now. Stepping forward with our truth. That's where we're at. And now the path of the sacred spiritual warrior opens its vistas for us. And let us tread that path with responsibility and accountability and joy and good proactive masculine energy that's from that dynamic mind that knows what spirit wants and knows what the soul wants, rather than from that reactive mind which is being programmed, like I said, by AI, by social media. Well, it started with TV. It just goes on and on and on. It's insidious and it's deep. And we can eradicate that by waking up. And let us do that. Let us awaken now. Let us open our hearts to the truth, which is that love is all we need. This is Joshua Hayward from the Joy of Love. Namaste and be well.